Alright, what is going on, my dudes? I'm coming to you from 2 years in the past because Gamora is getting buffed, and we're going to do some pre-buff gameplay. Obviously, I'm just joking, but Gamora is getting a second buff now, and if you haven't seen it, well, she's very similar. Her buff durations are getting a little bit longer, and she can also counter miss with like 10 or more buffs now, right? So Gamora is already a kind of solid champion. She's already a fun champion, okay? Now, we're going to be rocking with some 5-star rank 5 Gamora gameplay today. We're going to take her up to Sig 200, and this always happens. Gonna take her up to Sig 200 and mess around with her. Now, we're not going to be doing the 6-star rank 3 or anything for Gamora, okay? Now, if you want to see some pre-buff rank 3 Gamora gameplay, all right, you can go check out my buddy Sweeta. He's done a bunch of it, man. He has his Gamora at rank 3. Gamora's a really cool champion already. She's already kind of good. This is going to be like a pretty much a strictly value buff type situation for her. So this video is not going to be too long because the champions are going to be very, very similar before and after. So we want to, spend more time on the after because this version is going to be not relevant very, very soon. So yeah, Gamora was just recently released in the 5-star featured pool, the last one, so a bunch of people have her from there. A lot of people have the 6-star version, right? Like I said, if you want to see some 6-star rank 3, go check out Sweeta. I know I said that about like Kingpin and everything. I've given Sweeta a bunch of shout outs for to go watch his videos instead of mine because we're friends, we make similar kind of stuff, we think about the game in the same way, we both have a vision, Age of Ultron, right? 5 and 6-star. So yeah, it's definitely go check him out, go check out that 6-star rank 3 gameplay. I'm sure he'll make some post-buff gameplay as well. For right now, we're going to be focusing on the 5-star rank 5 Sig 200 Gamora because this could be possibly a fun rank up for you after the buff. It could be a fun rank up for you now, so maybe you're going to see this, say, ooh, I kind of like what's going on with Gamora here. The buff is only going to make her better. I have a 4 to 5 Cosmic Gem laying around. Maybe I'll rank her up. So, with all that being said, let's jump into Realm of Legends, have some fun, and see what we can do with her. So I just want to point out there are a bunch of really good synergies for Gamora to increase the length and potency of her buffs. Just for example, here I'll show you. For example, when Angela's good, plus 10%, no, where is it? Plus 10% attack if at least 30 seconds have passed during the fight. All right, that's not bad, right? That's definitely not bad. However, I thought it was the top line. So what would be even better is if we brought War Machine in. Now this would be a solid team for her. So right here, plus 20% Fury and Cruelty buff potency. Over here at Nova, I like this one a lot. This one gives her an aptitude buff, okay? That's really good. This right here, that she has the synergy herself. This one is really cool. Cosmic Champions increase their buff duration by 25%. That's really, really good for her. And then over here as well, 25% buff duration again. So that's a lot of buff duration enhancements plus some crit rating too. Now keep in mind you can also go for this one as well. Which would be good with Angela, actually, right? So hits pause, one of each buff for 0.2 seconds. But for the sake of this video, for the pre-buff, right, to go for like, because they're going to be increasing the duration and everything like that, right? So we're not going to show you how to increase duration now. What I'm going to show you now is just pretty much Gamora by herself, but we're going to leave the Nova one. I do like the synergy quite a bit because you get an additional aptitude buff, which is nice, and it makes her more fun to use, right? So we're going to go in with just this team today and see how we do. But keep in mind that once the buff hits, those other synergy members are probably going to make her much, much, much less stressful to play with her buff duration and everything. So definitely really excited to test that out. But for this video, we're going to be rolling with just Gamora and Nova. So the way that Gamora works here is essentially, right, you just want to hit the opponent, and then when you get a buff, you kind of want to go for a heavy attack, and it's going to refresh it, okay? Now, her special attacks have guaranteed crits. So let's go for this heavy attack, right? So we're going to build to a special 2 here, okay? Beat out this. Heavy attack. Now with the buff, these buff durations are going to be increased. So that was a nice, juicy special 2, right? Now the issue with Gamora, my issue with Gamora right now is that her block proficiency, is pretty terrible, okay? So that's one issue with her, and I'm not sure if that's being addressed with the update. But as you can see, the buffs just fell off, right? So obviously, that's a rather large issue with Gamora at the moment now, is that the buff duration is not very long if you don't overload her with synergies, right? So now at this point, we're going to go for another special 2, only 2 buffs active, right? So as you can see though, man, like the buffs, they put in a lot of work. We have the aptitude now, right? We have 2 armor breaks on the opponent. We could chain heavy attacks here in the corner if we want to, okay? Now the Godslayer strike, that's what makes the special 2 so good. As you can see right here, it won't be as good. It was still pretty darn good, man. It was still pretty darn good. So once you stack up these armor rigs, once you stack up all the buffs, you're going to be doing some darn good damage with Gamora. Now here's the thing, as the fight goes on, right up to 60 seconds, you're going to have the increased buff duration. That's going to be really, really good for her, I think. So yeah, let's jump in here and we're going to go for another special 2 with the Godslayer active. And yeah, so obviously, block efficiency is not too good, so I'm really hoping they fix her block efficiency a little bit, but I didn't see anything in the buff details to suggest that they did. All right, so I don't have high hopes for that. However, if you do pair her with, for example, Tech Guardian, well, then you're going to have some increased block efficiency, and that's going to go a long way for a champion who does like to parry heavy as often as she does. Oh, we missed the special 1, but that's okay, because we're going to go for it right here. That's going to put a nice bleed on the opponent. But as you can see, man, 25k for a special 1 with only a couple buffs is definitely really darn good. So if you want to see the 6-star rank 3 in action, like I said, go check out Sweet's channel. He does the 6-star rank 3 Gamora for a couple of videos, and it's definitely some good stuff for sure. So if you have a Gamora, you want to rank her up to maybe like a rank 2 after the buff, definitely a good spot to go check it out. If you have a 5-star Gamora and you think this playstyle is kind of cool for you, maybe look into it. I have a feeling she's going to be a lot less stressful to play after the buff. But all that being said, I do want to take her up against that X23 and 6.4.5 and see how her damage scales against a normal endgame opponent with a little bit more of an aggressive AI. And, you know, Winter Soldier has that wacky AI, so it might be better in some endgame content. Let's go give it a look. All right, man, so let's give a look to this X23 and see what Gamora can do. Okay, so this is the normal health pool, 222,000, and we didn't really look at her abilities before we started here. So basically, what her stick ability gives her is that she begins the fight with the Godslayer strike ready, all right? And then when you use a special attack at 6,200, 100% chance for it to do it, right? Special 1, plus 600% critical damage rating. Special 2, armor break debuffs during this attack gain plus 65% potency and more duration, right? And then special 3 inflicts a shock, which is, you know, decent. So you don't really want to go for the special 3 there. 6,000 damage versus robots. No, you want to go for the special 2 and the special 1. You know, the light attacks with the fury, medium attacks with the cruelty. Gamora's personal fury and cruelty gain plus 5% duration every 5 seconds that pass in the fight, up to plus 60%. Heavy attack refresh, special attack 1, 100% crit chance, special 2, 100% crit chance, right? Armor break, bleed, special 3, true strike. True strike on special 3. I mean, like, almost useless, right? So yeah, let's jump in and let's see what we can do. Okay. So, a reminder, this X23, pretty blanket fight. Not too much going on here, but she has the regen that we can worry about a bit, see if we can out-damage it, which I'm sure that we can. With Gamora here, she does hit pretty hard. Again, my biggest issue with Gamora is just, at the moment, her block efficiency, right? So, let's go for a special 2 here. Pretty darn good. If you can counter the opponent's special attacks with your heavy attacks, you're going to have a pretty good time with Gamora, I find at least, right? So at this point, what I want to do here is refresh these guys, wait for Godslayer to come back, and go for a special 2. And the best part about critical hits, or I mean, what do you call it, guaranteed crits, pretty much know what you're getting, so we don't even have to wait for it to come back. So yeah, that was really darn good damage in like a real fight, right? That was a real fight. That wasn't like Realm of Legends, Winter Soldier BS. That was just a very efficient, solid fight. And then after the buff, right, it's going to be even easier to keep that stuff up. So what's she going to be good for? She's going to be decent for like buffed up and nodes like that, right? Can she potentially counter miss reliably, right? You're going to need 10 buffs to do so. So I guess we'll see. no point speculating when the buff's going to be here in like a week or so, right? So I guess we'll see at that point. But yeah, I definitely feel like Gamora is going to be a lot of the same. She's already pretty darn good, as you can see. She's getting a value buff, but her values are already fine. So like her durations are going to be longer, and she's getting like a tiny bit more utility. But yeah, overall, Gamora is pretty cool. We'll make more content with her when her buff goes live. The buff is going to be so similar to how she is now that it almost feels wasted to make all of the pre-buff content now with her. So once the buff goes live, we'll jump back into Gamora, I think, and we'll have some more fun with her. But for now, Gamora is a really fun champion. I personally have her at rank 4. I might rank 5 her. I've always wanted to. I think that she's really, really cool. I like the character. And yeah, we'll have to see how the buff comes, man. Maybe the buff is going to be a lot better than it looks on paper, because right now it looks like it'll just make her a little bit better, but maybe sometimes that's all you need to bring a champion from like good to amazing. So hopefully that's the case. We'll have to see. But anyway, my dudes, if you enjoyed this video, drop your boy a big old like. Comment what you think about the Gamora buff coming soon in the comment section below. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any other Gamora post-buff gameplay coming to you very, very soon. I'll be seeing you around.